I have all of these pieces trimmed. We need to work on the last cut of these pieces. So the last cut that we need to do to each of these pieces, all 64 of them, is the opposite side of the angle we just paired. We need to pair another 67.5 degree angle, which ends up putting a 90 degree angle at the orientation that it's in, so that our last piece, some people call it the key, it's a small piece with a 90 degree on each end. Identical to the diagonals that we did, just maybe only 25% as long. So this starts to get a little bit weird because there's already a partial angle on one and it's hard to see where that angle is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just demonstrate with a pencil where that 90 degrees is. Okay, so it would be about right there. Let's see if I can. So let's just pretend that I divided this into equal thirds. 1, 2, 3. We want the miter that we did first to be 1/3 of it, and the second one to be 2/3. Okay? Because the piece has to come in at such an angle that it's fully inserted, and that takes about 2/3 of it. So we still have one angle of our blocks, the D side, that we can set up to do this particular miter, and that's what we're going to do next to all 64 pieces. But we're going to start with one pair. Don't do all 64. We're just going to do one pair, and then we're going to fit this key piece, make sure that everything works, and then we're going to do all of them. So you can probably see between videos I shortened this up just to make the container that I have to create to hold everything a little bit smaller. So we are going to be looking at angle D. Angle D. When I did the last angle on some of these pieces, it wasn't a full angle all the way across. And so the shiny part of this is the part that's been paired already. And now I need to pair the other part. And again, we're going to do 2/3. And we're going to leave 1/3. And all I'm going to do is I am going to lightly adjust it to get that angle. And you have to make sure that you have the right end up. So to start, as I've said before, we're taking small bites. Okay, that's about half. I need to take off just a little bit more. So I'm going to loosen this just a little bit. And if I mess this up, it's okay. All my other stuff is still set up, and I can just make a replacement. Ooh, I'm liking that. And I don't know if you can see it, but the majority of it now is this miter that I just did, and the little bit that's left is the first miter that we did. So I'm going to do the other one because I've been working in pairs. I have that angle pretty well dialed in. And so now, as I mentioned before, just like the diagonal piece that has a 90 degree end on each end, I need to now cut a piece that will span from this corner to this corner that we just created with these two pieces coming together. So I need to measure that with my ruler to rough length. It's like about 3/4 of an inch. So we are done with angle D, which was the first angle that we did. on this piece. So we are done with the diagonals, and the diagonals were done with the 45-degree angle. And that happens to be angle A on our pairing blocks. Okay, this is a 45-degree angle. And we need 45-degree angles on both sides of each end of this little piece that I said was roughly 3/4 of an inch long. So I'm going to set my sawbuck up, my stop, to cut a 3/4 inch piece. I'm just going to make sure it's a little bit big. When you grab a scrap, remember that the angle at one end is probably not correct. So, this is a new sawbuck. This saw has only been in here one time, so you got to true up the end. Here's the trick with the pencil eraser. Okay, use the pencil eraser to hold and apply pressure to the piece. It's so small. I mean, you could get your finger in there. I'm going to hold that piece in with the pencil. So there it is. That's my rough length piece. Clamp angle A in, and again I want to sneak up to that, so I'm going to loosen, slide it over. I'm going to take really small bites to get a 90-degree corner on this, and we'll test fit. It's not getting anything, a little too short. Small bites. Oh, just barely got it. Move it just a little bit. And I wish that I could say how far to move it. It depends. Okay, so just sneak up to it. Make sure you do both sides. And then look at it. Still a flat spot on that. So through a whole lot of little steps of trial and error, because once I get it perfect, they'll all be perfect. All right, I have a point, a 90-degree corner point now. Now I flip it around. We should get a 90-degree point on the other end. We sure did. Now, does it fit? Looky there. Fits. So, I now have my sawbuck is set for the length, okay, and my clamp block is also set for the length. So the only question that I have is, did I take off so much on this piece that my sawbuck needs to move? So I'll take the one that fits really well and I'll put it in there, and I will say without a doubt I am not going to change that. This is perfect. So now I need 32 of these. Okay, so that's your job. Cut 32 of them. Now that we have proven that this fits, you can now pair the opposite angle on this that we did initially and insert them into the grid work, and then as you do these you can insert them, because we're almost done. If this were a seminar or a class, this would be a 5 to 8 hour seminar. A group dynamic of 5 to 6 people. You don't get individualized instruction like you're doing in a video. I would be showing it as necessary, similar to the videos that are done here. And there'd be breaks involved and lunches and things like that. So this can take you as long as you want. I would appreciate that you try and have this done in a week, because what I would like to do is I would like to let the kit sit for 3 days before I even open it, and then I'll disinfect everything again. I'll restock it with supplies, sharpen the chisel, make sure everything is there, and then send that out to someone who then has a week. So, but if you had a day or half a day, you could probably complete this whole thing. You need to pair the second angle on these, and then cut 32 of these, pair the 45-degree angle on both ends for these keys, put the whole thing together, and you're done.